Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back together again. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of an interesting video. So today, well, yesterday, Hollywood decided to delay a bunch of movies, or up some new dates, or give them actually release dates. So today I'm going to be ranking all those movies that got delayed, got put release dates, or got upped some dates from the worst to the best. Let's go in and get started from least excitement to most excitement. Now, the only reason why Ghostbusters 4 is in last place is because I don't know anything about Ghostbusters. Never watched any Ghostbusters films, so unfortunately, it comes in last place. Now, I will say this. I've seen the original Karate Kid from 2010 starring Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. I don't really know if this is a sequel to the original Karate Kid from 1984 or a sequel to the Karate Kid from 2010. Other than that, I'm still excited because because it's gonna be my first time checking out the other Karate Kid films, so it's gonna be an interesting watch to do. What's also interesting about Venom 3 is, I really enjoy the first two Venom films. The first Venom is just such a fun comic book film with really good action and just great comedy. And then you get into the second film, and I don't know if it's as good as the first film, but it still handles a lot of the things that I think the first Venom did really well. And, I haven't seen I haven't seen Morbius yet, and it's kind of crazy that this is coming out before Kraven the Hunter, which is actually going to be a lot higher on this list. But, I don't really know what to, expect from Venom 3. Probably just more of the same thing. I don't know what villain we can get. And, we have seen set photos of Tom Hardy in Mexico. So, I'm not quite sure what to think about this movie. Also, the only thing we really know is that it has a release date of July 12th of next year. So, that's kind of what gets me excited just a little bit. Now, Madam Web, throughout this whole history, I'm like, what is Madam Web? I always seen her in these Spider-Verse things and the animated series that she's just like this person looking over the Spider-Verse and the big magic web. And, it's basically sending out these Spider-Women to protect baby Peter Parker as he's a baby. And, basically it's Terminator except Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Kind of interesting, kind of cool. I'm excited to see how this is all going to connect in the Spider-Verse saga. So, has me intrigued. Now, Kraven the Hunter, I was actually really looking forward to this movie because when they first announced that they're making a Kraven the Hunter film, I was like, let's go, I'm ready. We got the trailer last month, and I'm like, oh yes, we're getting bloody action. It's gonna be the first rated R movie. I can't wait. And then it got delayed a full year. Why? I mean, it was so close to getting released. You had to wait at least 3 more months for it to come out. At least 2 more months. Come on, man. Besides that, but I think, the idea of a Kraven the Hunter movie, I think it works. I think these films are working. I'm excited for Kraven the Hunter. I don't care what anybody says. I want to see Kraven the Hunter beat up some bad guys brutally, bite people's noses off, use rat catchers to rip them to pieces. I want fun, bloody action. Now, I've actually have a pretty good experience with the Bad Boys films. I remember I saw the first film during COVID, and it was good. I definitely liked it. And then I saw Bad Boys for Life, and I'm like, oh yeah, this was great. This is definitely great. And I really just like the way they kind of brought, how do you bring Bad Boys to, to the modern world, and they did it with, doing great action, great interaction, still great interactions between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and you also have just a great set of new characters that they brought in, and then of course just having great action set pieces. I think I mentioned that before though. And so after the success of Bad Boys for Life, I'm very excited for Bad Boys 4. Now, if you have to ask me, this is a film starring Will Smith, and if you know about all the controversy that happened a year ago, is my experience of seeing films with Will Smith affecting his future films because of this slap? Not necessarily. It just kind of bothers me as to, like, he's banned from the Oscars for 10 years. That if he makes something like Emancipation, which I think is a great performance of his, though it didn't get anything at the Oscars, no nominations or anything, but because coming off after King Richard, he's got to win something else. Probably not going to be in the next 10 years, but it just feels kind of weird that he's going to keep making movies, and one of these movies could be Oscar performances like Emancipation, and he's not going to get nominated, and he's not going to even win them. Nothing's going to be with them. It's and I guess Bad Boys is the exception, because they're not going to give him an Oscar for best performance in a action film about cops stopping Mexicans. No one's going to do that. The Academy is smarter than that. So I think besides that, I'm still very excited for Bad Boys 4. So this movie actually got delayed 2 weeks. So I was actually supposed to see this movie while I was in Disney. Well, I wasn't gonna see it, but coming back from my Disney trip, I was going to see it. On my little devices. But unfortunately, it got delayed. So now it's coming out the weekend, my first weekend of my mom's birthday, as well as me going back to school. So it's gonna be a pretty fun week, but from the trailers, it just sounds like an awesome film. With great car action, racing sequences. You got a great cast, a cool idea, and honestly, it just sounds like it's gonna be a great film. I hope it actually makes money. I hope it does great. I hope it really does great. Now, of course, if you know me, the original 3 Kung Fu Panda films are some of my favorite films in the industry of animation. Of course, I love the first Kung Fu Panda film. That's probably my 9th favorite film of all time, and probably my 4th favorite animated film of all time. And that is behind a lot of movies, because I love Kung Fu Panda. The sequel, I still absolutely love, but I have to say, I've learned to love the original Kung Fu Panda more, that I kind of dimmed it down a little bit. Though it is still high up in my, rankings that include the films. And then you get Kung Fu Panda 3, which I don't think is as good, but it still holds up. I still think it's a really good movie. Great animation, great action, great comedy bits, and a pretty good story. You get Kung Fu Panda 4. What gets me very excited for this is that you're bringing back these characters that I love, but you're also, you're kind of doing the story is not really the biggest fan of how the story is going to be, but I am so down for what this movie is coming for. I can't wait for Kung Fu Panda 4. It's going to be kind of weird that we're just bringing back past villains of Kung Fu Panda franchise. Kinda, but I'm still very excited for it. Now, of course, if you know me, the original Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely loved going to the theater to see it. I saw it 2 times in theaters, and both times I loved it. And then I saw Across the Spider-Verse a month ago, and I wasn't crazy about it like most people, but I still absolutely loved it. There's lots of great things going into that movie. And one of the great things I loved about that film is that it really was so important that that you hear about all the controversy that happened with Beyond the Spider-Verse, that no one has done their lines, and these movies have great set of animation that they need to do. So it's it makes sense for this movie to get delayed. And if you don't know, I made a video last week about because we were in the writers and actors strike now of what movies do I think should get delayed. This movie is on that list for the movie that should get delayed because of how important Into and Across the Spider-Verse were. People are saying this is probably going to be the best trilogy of all time of animated Spider-Man films. Like, it's kind of crazy that we're actually saying we have an animated Spider-Man film. It's still crazy to think about because we always just get, animated Spider-Man shows. But to close out this trilogy, they just need to delay it. Now, we don't have a release date for it yet, so that's kind of out of the range. But I am still very excited for this film. I can't wait to see this massive, epic conclusion to this great trilogy. And that is my ranking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff is in the back section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.